hypnotized by the sound of your heartbeat. My soul is overwhelmed. I find it hard to be discreet. I feel your presence in the room. The way you're killing me is a murder. It's unheard of. Let's take the love imprisoned in us and let it go.
Hello everybody and welcome to the Disabled Team. I hope everyone's doing well. This is your press conference. Jessie Marcsh delivered this press conference earlier on this afternoon. Me and Lee we're going to wait and have his tea and stuff, and then we spent an hour on speaking about the press conference, an hour or so, how long it takes. Right, how are we feeling, Lee? Leeds United beat Barnsley yesterday. Yeah. We're keeping us undefeated run going. It must be a feel-good moment as a Leeds United fan now. It's got to be. Yeah. It has to be a feel-good moment. You know what I mean? It has to be. Right, let's get into this then, shall we? Right. As you know, Jessie Marcsh starts with his, his injuries and his, team news. And he says, Junior and Luke, we think that they will be in training next week. And potentially Mateus Bogus as well. Obviously, Stuart is still months away, but working really hard. And then the big question mark is Patrick Bamford. We think he's doing well and moving forward. I think also with the performance of the team, it allows us to be patient but we will still have to call it a call to make for exactly what it means for this weekend. But we want to put him in the best position possible to physically be ready to pick up where he left off from. Yeah. So basically, they're not going to rush him back. It has been a great start to the season so far. Another big crowd has been brought last night. How important is it to feed off that positivity and to maintain this unbeaten run for as long as possible? Just looking ahead to the game this weekend, great win against Chelsea, but in some ways, given the way Brighton have started the season, could this be an even tougher test? That's what question he got asked by the journalist. Yeah, I would say obviously there's momentum, but we've talked a lot internally that we're only starting our process of becoming the team that we really want to become. And there's still a lot of work to do. And there's nothing that keeps you more honest than what this league is and what football and sport in this country is. If you take 1 second to think that you've achieved anything, then your next opponent can come and just clean you up. So we really respect Brighton. They obviously had a great season last year. They've made some good additions. They have a wonderful manager. So he's praising Jessie Marcsh up. He's praising Jessie Marcsh up. Where am I? Yep, right. And they have made a really good start to the season. So we know that our focus and attention exactly to this challenge will be the most important thing. Then it says, another question was from journalists, we're a week away from the transfer deadline day, and there's been a lot of talk about bringing in a forward during this transfer window. How likely is that? And if you don't get any player, are you comfortable with the squad you have got? And then he says, striker, yes. How likely is it? Depends on how things play out and what availabilities of players. And we certainly don't have a surplus of big amounts of money to go out and spend and bring in a huge transfer. But I think we've done a good job of evaluating players that are of high interest to us. Then we're waiting to see and having good communications with different clubs and agents and players to see if there might be a flexibility and what their contracts are and what their situations, are that we can still add quality piece to what we're doing. So basically what he's saying is we haven't got a lot of money to spend, which is going to be a bit of a downer on Russell's ears, but they are looking at a striker. Then he got talking about then a question coming about Luis Sinisterra. We saw Luis Sinisterra. We saw it for the first time from the start at Allen Road last night. How big impact do you think he could make this season? And did it give you something to think about last night with that performance in terms of your team selection this weekend? He says, no, it didn't. We knew already what we had a fantastic player, and it's not been easy for our fans and all the media to see him up close, but we see him every day. I was not surprised at all that he was the man of the match. He played a big part in all 3 goals. I think we think very, very highly of him. He is driven to continue to adapt and grow within our system and within our environment. Will it be this weekend? Let's see how he gets out of the 60 minutes. I think the 60 minutes were incredibly important and valuable for him. And let's see where he's at physically. I think for sure he becomes bigger and bigger, and option to have a bigger and bigger role within what we are doing here with our team. So he's really pleased with him, innit? He also says as well, excuse me, he also says as well, I always think the most important thing is that the players are proving themselves internally, that the other players see how good you are and how important you can become to the team, as Lewis has done that in a big way. So I think we need to just monitor him physically, but then be ready. That regardless, we'll be ready to use them in a big role this weekend. Right, so he's really happy with Luis Sinisterra, which is a good thing, Lee. You know what I mean? He played well. I mean, I saw highlights and he took his goal very well. Do you know what I mean? He took his goal very well. And then he got asked about Liam Cooper. Did Liam Cooper come through okay? You know, and then he says, yeah, that was very important for us. The idea was 30 to 45 minutes. He looks really strong, so we went with 45. He feels great. He'll be ready for this weekend. And then again, trying to figure out exactly what his role will be. Because it's going to be hard to put him in now that we're a winning team. It's going to be hard just, to change it. I don't think I would change it. I won't change a winning team. I wouldn't. Why fix them at what ain't broken at the moment? You know what I mean? Keep him. Gives him a bit more time to get match fit. Fit his physical fitness up, his mental fitness up. Give him time, But look, we started off so well. Just don't disturb the apple cart, as they say. Ted Curran, welcome. Hello, our friend. Marsh, non-committed vague on Bamford, who may be out indefinitely. I think we will add a striker soon. If Rodrigo gets unlocked, we're in trouble at the moment. Yeah, I think I still said. I don't know about you. I can see why they're talking about this striker being priority, but I still would love to see us bring in another left back. But that's just me. Do you know what I mean? That's just me. I'd like to see us bring in another left back, another striker. Them 2 players to strengthen what we've got. I think we could have a really, really good season. Honestly, I really do. Right. Matthias Klitsch was impressive last night. Just how important is he? And he put, no, I'm really happy with Clicky. He's had to accept a different role, which is I'm assuming it's from the bench. He and I have had a really good conversations, and I think the air is totally clear, and he is committed in every way to try and help in any way that he can. I think he's had a good performance from the bench, and then last night, I think for 90 minutes, to get a good 90 minutes under him. He has also played against Norwich with the under-21s, and he's very good in that match too as well. I think he will continue to be a big factor for us. And then how we rotate things when we use them and how we use them. I think he's excited about the role, and he's taking it on as a really important role, and then a big challenge, and he'll be ready when we need him. So basically, we always knew Click were a model professional. Do you know what I mean? He's not quite good enough to play against the likes of Liverpool, Man City, Chelsea, Arsenal, Spurs, but he is good enough to play against the likes of Bournemouth, Fulham, Nottingham Forest, Southampton out of push. So you know what I mean? There is role. We will be seeing him, but just not in big games, you know, or he'll come on as an impact front bench league. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's a good thing, isn't it? That's a good thing. It's got to be. Right. Then he got us from a journalist. Inevitable, he's probably got one eye on the World Cup going forward. So because of that, will you be desperate to get as many minutes as possible? Are you able to offer him those minutes that he needs? Or would there be any suggestions that he might look for a move where he could guarantee first team football week in, week out? And he said about him, look, this is what I mean about his model professionalism. He says, I think he's very committed to being here. I think he feels like the role he and I have discussed is enough for him to continue a push to make the World Cup team for Poland. And if he plays like that, I think, And if he plays like that, I think which he will. I think that every time he steps onto the field for us in these last of the matches, he's played really well. So I think that Poland will look at that very favourably, and Matthias thinks that as well. You know, so you know, Matthias isn't worried about his World Cup place, which is good. You know, it's good that we've got we need a bit extra body and pitch. Right, revealed to Silas in the stereo looks super. Yep, he's been a question mark. Yeah, but yeah, I know what you're saying, Ted. You know what I mean? First time you saw him, he went off injured, didn't he? But look, took his goal well, and yeah, I mean, I like him. I really do like Sinistera. I think he's going to find it difficult to get back into this side, though. I really do, and that's what we've always wanted, isn't it? We've always wanted competition on bench for players to, so they push each other. Really, you know what I mean? So, because if Sinistera comes on, he knows he's going to have to perform to keep his place, otherwise he'll be out again next week. So I think it's brilliant. I really do. And then a little bit more reaction from last night. It was a really big opportunity for a lot of the players to show what they can do to impress you. Who particularly did that for you last night? That's what he got asked by a journalist. And he says, I think in one way or another, they all passed the test in a good way. The challenge, I said to them immediately after the Chelsea game and immediately before the Barnsley game was, can we be as clear with our tactics and our mentality and our performance as we were with the Chelsea match? Yeah, there's little things in there that could be better, but I think for most part, we went through the match today. We heard from a lot of the guys on how they thought it went. they thought what they thought was important in the match. I think there was a lot of really good comments and intelligence with the way that the group processed exactly what the game was, and we'll use it to continue to feed them with confidence and understanding and help them to continue to grow and be more and more of an option and important moments in the season. Last night was also a very important moment for our club and for our team, and I thought all of them were ready to go and played quite well. Yeah, I agree with that as well, guys. I thought, it's good to have a manager who's willing to listen to the players. Do you know what I mean? It's good that he sits down with them and gets. Is this my camera that's your camera? Isn't it? Like, sorry, drinking my son's kind of pop. And then it says here, for some players, another question from journalists. Sorry, guys. For some players, it was particularly a huge opportunity for them. Some really shone, some may well come away and think I didn't do quite as well as I could have done. Is that where the management is particularly important? They feel that pressure and that they want to impress, and it's hard to do sometimes. And then it says, in this business, if you're not getting so many playing minutes, then it's hard to really show your development, and they need to play in order to make mistakes. Yeah, you can't learn unless you make a mistake, can you? Mm. So to show improvement, they will look at the video. We'll talk about things, and we'll find ways to help them improve. I take that role very seriously, and I believe he does. I genuinely believe he does. I think he does take it seriously. I haven't really announced it, but Cameron Tossett is one of our new individual coaches, right? We've invested a lot into trying to be very clear with every player and to get their input and investment into what they think they need to do to improve, and then do it within the model of how we're trying to play football. I think what we've seen is full engagement from every player, Lee. And that gives them a chance to be the best versions of themselves and continue to improve. Ultimately, that's what will help the team, as if every player is fully engaged, is improving and giving everything they have to the group, and then we'll see more and more quality moments for every player. Right, so then he says, quick reaction to the draw last night. Wolves away in the next round. What was your reaction to that? He says, terrible, but mostly because we know Wolves are a really good team and that it won't be easy. What we've tried to build a squad that is more, that has more depth, so that it can be ready for every challenge. So that will be obviously the big challenge to us in the third round. So yeah, not what we wanted, but whatever, we'll be ready to go. Right, and then it says, with seven of then another journalist says, with 7 All Premier League ties, you should get past Wolves. 7 more Premier League sides are going to go. Is it a real opportunity to progress? And it says, no, it's true. And you see some big matchups in there where it won't be easy for some big teams, but we'll be totally focused on our game, ours. That I know, and I'll require total concentration. And then he says, when you came to here, this was another journalist question. When you came here, the club was in a difficult spot, which I agree with that, it was. You had some difficult moments yourself towards the end of last season as well. I wonder how different things are for you day to day now. especially this week, with such an impressive result against Chelsea. And then he says, I would say mostly internally, the feeling of the work has been always really good and really strong, and the commitment from every guy. Obviously, last year the stress of relegation meant that the big part of my job was just psychology, of where we were approaching every day. I have a bigger support team now, so it doesn't require me to go over every opponent myself and every video and every session and every game. We're still evaluating things as staff, but we've created a wider spectrum of roles, and then how we relate with each other. We've lessened the burden of me to do every little thing, which is helpful because I can focus a little on some more of the board things, but still know where to get into the minutag. Excuse me. So I feel like the staff is operating really well. I didn't hear Mitch's conference last night, but he's a very intelligent person, and he's helped a lot. So he's, so has Ewan Sharp. The work that Jacko does is amazing. That I talked about Cameron already. Marcus is an incredible goalkeeper coach for me, and he really pushes the environment of those guys are put into every day. And then Aaron Dagger and Willie are helping me in every way with the video analysis. So we have a really good support team right now, and it feels like we are really moving things in the right direction. Then it says, I'm sure to you every day you're seeing all these people operate, you're seeing the benefits that they are to all different individuals, but to the wider media, the fans and the football public in this country, how much does a headline result like that against Chelsea help? And he says, look, I don't think we needed validation internally. The guys know. I've been saying this for weeks, and there's something special happening here. But obviously it helps. It always helps. Results always validate and good against good opponents. Even before the game, I said shut the door on that result, because for the next game and the next game, it doesn't mean anything. We need to stay laser focused and fully concentrated on improving and maximising our potential every day, then continuing to commit to the player style and mentality of the group, the engagement, everything. The minute you think that you're doing well, you get smacked in the face. We're very aware of that. In terms of who I am and what I try to do every day, it doesn't change a whole lot. I'm still, the work is the most important thing, and that's what I'm focused on every day. And then he says, the journalist says, and just finally, Archie Gray has been in and around the first team. I just wanted to say, I just say, how did his GCSEs have gone? And he says that I asked him in front of the whole team, and he said he got B's and A's. Also, but he said B's first, which made me think maybe more B's than A's. Clearly, he's a bright kid. And then he was sick for a little bit. He didn't have COVID, but he had some sort of a weird stomach in fluke or something. He's still a big part of everything we do every day, and he's such a great kid. it's a pleasure to have him around. It's not just like you have a 16-year-old kid in the first team. It's like he's one of the other players. So it's a big thing. It's a big compliment to him. So basically, he did well didactically in his school league, which is a good thing to hear, isn't it? Yeah. It's a great thing to hear. It's a really good thing to hear. Good afternoon, Luke Legend. Hope you're doing well, our friend. Excuse me. Right, and then it says I don't have to worry about those exam results with the way foot is. Right, you got us about, does he have to worry about those exam results with the way football is going? He says no, but I think his family and him are committed to him educating himself. He even talks about taking some of his A-levels, which I would fully encourage, because I think a well-rounded human being is important part of being a good being good at football. Yeah, I agree with that. I think education should come first. Football should come second. Totally agree with that. Just going to go to some of these important questions now. Where are we? Right. Cody wanted to go out in January to get some games and did so. Why was he happy to sticking around this season, and how is he getting on? And because Cody Drama had that, there was talk that he had a fallout with Bielsa, didn't he? Because he wanted more minutes. He wanted more minutes, and fair play to him. I think he's doing great. Cody and I had some tough conversations at the end of last year. But when we had him in for training, I think he had a very good experience at Cardiff, and in his mind maybe wanted to stay there. I challenged him to think about challenging himself to be here. It was a really big good that he got games, that he was playing well, and I watched not every game, but I got the highlights of most games, and I watched a lot of his actions. I think over time he's enjoyed being here, and I think in there he has played good football, and I think of him. They've got they kind of go hand in hand, right? The key for him is the key for him is not need the enjoyment and need more of the drive to be the best he can possibly be and get out of the comfort zone, which he did by going to Cardiff. But I challenged himself at a high level to really maximise what he can do, what he can be every day. So he pushes him. Every day he pushes him. He wants him to become a better player, which is a good thing, Lee, isn't it? It's a really good thing. Right? I think he's done that in a big way. It's been a pleasure. I've seen him grow a lot in the last weeks. I think he's performed well within the team. I think he's fit well within the team. So yeah, I mean, what happens with them going forward? I think it's not totally solidified one way or another quite yet. So he's still questioning about. He's still got, he's not 100% sure on what he wants to do, and I think that goes for both of them, Cody Drama and Jessie Marcsh. That's what I'm getting from that anyway. The window is still open. I think he knows that he wants to play games, and that's important for him. But we will also value having him here. So let's see what the next week goes and exactly what comes of it. But I can just say that in this moment, I think he's fully a part of the team in our club, and he has a big future here. Good evening, would you? Lee, are you about to go to the USA face-off with your t-shirt on? I like that, would you? I like that. That's funny. Right, then it's he got asked about. He had a moment with Titch last night, and that it was winning all in. Did you like that? He says, yeah, loved it. To be fair, they all stood up for each other, but didn't cross the line. It's really important that everybody has each other's back. Cody did nothing to deserve the reaction, but Cody stood up for himself, and then the team stood up for him. But no punches were thrown, especially nothing stupid was done in the process. It was just a group showing total solidarity and committing to each other. So this kind of stuff for me is important. And I know these mass confrontation things and referees are trying to avoid this. But for me, being part of a team, making sure that you have each other's back. So I thought that was great. So yeah, because they had a bit of it, I thought that was good too as well. It was good to see, there were no, like he says, there were no handbags thrown, there were no punches thrown. They just, backed each other up, which is great to see. And then he got asked, he says, you said that there isn't a huge surplus of cash to make any massive signings this week. Obviously, Andrea has been on the record with the Decathlon business. What would you say to the fans that query the fact that there was money for Decathlon, but not the surplus that you're talking about? And he said, and he goes on and says, which basically what he's saying is, how can he say that there isn't a lot of money, but we bid nearly 35 million for Decathlon? So there must be money somewhere, mustn't there? And then he says, I want to be fair to Andrea because for me, he's committed in every way and every request that I have had since I've been here. So we're just operating within a budget that is defined. We're trying to find flexibility and be aggressive with some options, but doing it in a way that honours with what Andreas has provided us with the commitment. He and I have a great working relationship, and we talk daily. Honestly, we do talk daily, and then there's always the conversations between Victor and Angus and us, and trying to make sure that we are all on the same page. He says, obviously, over the transfer period, things kind of ebb and flow based on the development of the team and each individual player. So I meant I could bring in 10 guys. Maybe there was a thought about it, like we talked about Clicky, that maybe there was an idea of that alone might have meant that Clicky and his future, could be sorted out. It means that it came together in a way that I think everybody sees now the same way, and the air is very clear and understood, and then we can move forward all together. In the end, that's what's most important, that whatever decision gets made, either to move players out or bring players in, are done with the exact strategy and the idea in the mind that exactly what we meant, what we need, and big compliment to everyone involved here is in the building and at Ellen Road, and that we've done that really well. So basically, they're trying to do it on a budget. They don't want to overspend. But they are trying to, be aggressive in the market, which is a good thing. We need to be. Mm. We need this striker because I don't think Manford's going to be right for the rest of the season, mate. I just don't. Can I catch up with some of these comments? We love you, Lily. We do. We love you, Lily. We do. We love you, Lily. We do. Oh, Lily, we love you. That's Hammerhead. What did you say, Ahmed?
Thank you.
He also looks very serious. He does. Nice, Ahmed. We love you. We love you. Stu, we do. We love you. Stu, we do. We love you. Oh, Stu, we love you. Thank you, Ahmed. We love you all too, as you already know. The Budgie Meister, and he says the Budgie. And he's saying at least not impressed. No, he's not impressed with what I'm saying. He's not impressed with my reading. He's ready to sack me. Honestly, he's ready to sack me. He's the guy. Where's that smile for people? Where's that smile? You tired? Lee gives a smile. Lee gives a smile. There you go. Obviously, any personal information is safe, name, etc. Yeah, so there you go. So, you know, then it's about the performance and stuff like that, and the same questions keep getting asked about, you know, what should expectations be this season, and he's, you know, basically saying that, you know, yeah, I mean, I shouldn't have answered that with. Oh, hang on a minute. Reverse, right. He got asked about what should the expectations be, and he says, I've heard that people are saying after this match that was the benchmark, and I don't think like that as much. Sometimes in the process, things can come together in a match plan where an opponent, it comes together right away. But they were still a massive challenge, and we won't be able to... Sorry about that. We won't be able to to control big opponents, or in any opponent for that matter as well. Maybe as we did in this match. So what he's saying is, look, you know, sometimes you get lucky in some results, you know, against big teams. Like you might pull off a draw against Man City, but you know, sometimes that's because your plan works. Do you know what I mean? Like, what's hey, don't forget, guys. In and out. It's 6 o'clock. Your kick-off time for West Ham v Freiburg. So it's a 6 o'clock kick-off UK time tonight. No, I thought it was 7:15, but it's 6 o'clock. So don't you forget about your matches. What should he... Right, so... Jessie, just could you talk more about the Cameron Titch and what he will be doing and why he feels important? Yeah, so first of all, we spent a lot of time working with the players to create individual plans that include everything from technical, nutrition, physical, and gym work, the psychological mentality. He's put together action plans for every player that include measurables in all of these areas, that include weekly work, that include additional meetings, videos. So he's doing quite a bit of work then, isn't he? You know what I mean? He's like a psychiatrist, isn't he? Do you know what I mean? That's what he is. That's what Cameron Titch is. It's just like his own psychiatrist. Yeah. It seems as though the game has got much more tactical in recent years. How important is that you have footballers with footballing intelligence? Now, this is instantly, massively important. It's always easy to evaluate when you're watching videos how talented a player is and what his qualities are. The tougher things are to know his exact mentality, and in those mostly how he handles difficulty, and then to really process and how quick of a learner he is. These two things wind up being as important, if not more important, than the actual football talent and quality. I found that over my recruitment in football that getting away to the core is the most of their learning abilities and mentalities winds up, dictating how good the potential of what player can be. So he takes it very serious, then, doesn't he? Takes it very, very serious. Butchie says, Griff's comment, I think something that you can find very interesting, right with your alley, bro. It's a beach and Butchie concept I'm working with. Brilliant. Brilliant, Budgie. Brilliant. 2-0 with West Ham tonight. I hope he makes you Sinisterra play and stuff like that, guys. I really do. I'm not Sinisterra. What man about bloody Skamaka? I hope Skamaka plays tonight for you. So that basically that's basically what he said. Do you know what I mean? So that's, and you know, then the cameras went off to us, and you know, like it does on YouTube. But yeah, so that's what basically what he said was, you know, we've got to be ready. You know, don't just think that we're beating Chelsea, we're going to beat Brighton. Because if we think like that, we'll get eaten alive. You know, he respects the coach. We'll do a Brighton review tomorrow. Preview. We'll do a Brighton preview tomorrow. I'll get hold of Mally and Keith. It's been a big busy week this week for us, Lee. Been a really, really busy week for us. But yeah, it's all good. So Hammerhead's going for a. Hammerhead's going for a 2-0 West Ham win tonight. I think you'll win 3-1 or something, Hammerhead. I do. I think you'll win 3-1. But you know, it's 5. Coming up to 5 o'clock now, guys. Yeah, hope you've enjoyed this video. It's been good, hasn't it? It's been good, mate. It's been good. Anyway, look, guys, we're gonna leave it there. I think Brother Titch is doing a watch along tonight. I think it'll be 5:45. He comes on. Well, if it came 6 o'clock, it'll be 5:45 because he's got soccer camp. So he'll be doing his soccer camp. So yeah, look, guys, thank you very much for taking your time out to watch us. You know, we just thought we'd give it a go, see if you enjoyed it. Anyway, there's only one thing left to say. Thank you very much for watching this edition of Table Team.
Good, mate.
And it's a goodbye from me, guys.